the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hi, and welcome to the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel, and our media partner is AFK Gaming. How are you doing? My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host for today, and joining me is Shade Slayer, your favorite caster and analyst.
Hey, Apollonia. Thank you so much for the introduction. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited that this tournament has finally started. Now we are on the first day. It
Yeah.
is the round of 256. We have over 200 teams joining this tournament, so this is going to be exciting. Is there anything that you're looking forward to, or some things that you're actually expecting?
So I think with 230 teams and the format being a single elimination best of ones for, I believe, till the quarterfinals, and after that we have a best of threes. So initially it's going to be a pretty tall ask, especially from the majority of the teams, since best of ones do have its ups and downs. Yes, you get a better chance of maybe scoring in an upset, but that applies to your opponents as well. Especially with the dynamics of CSGO and in a best of one where your economy is going to play a big part, and not really being able to win a clutch round or two here or there might just be the difference between winning and progressing through and straight up getting eliminated in the early stages. So most of these teams, I believe, we're not going to see them try something extraordinary. We're going to see these teams just stick with their comfort maps, try and do the basics right, and take things forward from there.
100%. So the first match that we will see today is between Wasted Potential and Rage of Hunters. Now, have you heard of these teams before? It's a first for me.
Yeah, it's pretty much a first for me as well. And that is, I think, the beauty of Indian Counter-Strike. There is so many players out there who we don't really know of, but tournaments like this are a very good platform for the newer players to kind of come out here, put on a show, get recognized as well for all the efforts that they've been putting in behind the scenes. Because most of these players are, though you might not really know the name, these guys have thousands of hours behind them. They basically scrim every day, they practice every day, whether it's with their team, whether it is solo, trying to up their skills. So it is a grind that a lot of players put in, and platforms like this, thanks to Lenovo with the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, it's an amazing place for them to put on a show and show, hey, this is where all that work over the last few months and years went.
Exactly, right? It's like a stepping stone for gamers. And, you know, if you're looking for a place to show yourself, to go competitive, it's always these tournaments that will provide that opportunity for you.
Yeah.
And one thing is that, you know, in the round of 256, you see a lot of varying skill levels, like you see different skill matchups and stuff like that. So, you know, I have no idea what to expect from these two teams. It could be a stomp, it could be a very close match.
Yeah,
what do you think?
yeah. So unless these teams have come up with a specific strat that they want to play here, yes, there was a map veto, and for the first game, it is Mirage that has been picked. I don't see either of these teams pulling out something extraordinary. It's a map that most of the teams are very well versed, especially in India, where as of late, of course, you've seen a lot more of Inferno, but if you dial it back a year or two, Mirage has been the absolute go-to, especially when Dust 2 got taken off the competitive pool. This was the map everyone played.
Exactly,
this is the map where everyone has 100+ strats on. They know exactly how to play. multiple scenarios. So I believe it is going to be comfortable in terms of a map pick for both the teams. I'm only interested to see how things eventually play out, because I think it's at least in the initial few rounds in teams that we don't know of, if there isn't too much in terms of execute, it's straight up gonna come down to aim duels, and the team who's come in with their A game for this best of one is going to walk away the winner.
100%. Yeah. So now the teams are prepping up. So the first map is Mirage. And you did mention, it is a favorite. I've always felt that the number one map is always going to be Dust 2.
Yeah,
And then next to that, it's going to be Mirage.
so Dust 2 has been very popular in the traditional Counter-Strike scene in India. But
Yeah.
when Dust 2 did get taken off the competitive pool, I think that was when a lot of teams got very familiar with maps like Mirage, now Inferno. We've seen a lot more of Overpass as well being played. So they're pretty familiar with quite a few diverse maps now, even if they're relatively new in the Counter-Strike scene. So that being said, first match, I really don't have a prediction of sorts. I don't know who's going to win it. I have absolutely no idea who's going to maybe bring in the ace here. But yep, I think we're just going to have to wait it out and see who is going to come out on top in the very first game on stream for the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, Apple.
All right. And let's just talk about the prize pool for this tournament. It is insane. It's a combined total of 350,000 INR.
Yeah.
First place will walk away with 100,000. That is just mad.
Yeah, that is
How
just
is-
insane.
Yeah, how is it like compared to other tournaments that you've seen? Like that, like this is really one to fight for.
Yeah, that is up there in one of the highest prize pools that we've seen in esports, especially for Counter-Strike in India. So there's going to be a lot at stake for all these players. The top teams, of course, are going to be saying, hey, we want the lion's share of that 350,000 INR. But for many of these teams, the newer teams, it's going to be about leaving a mark. And they're going to be taking this one game at a time and ensuring that they put on their A game in some of these matches. So, yep, we're going to have to just wait and see how the tournament plays out. I think by the end of a couple of rounds, you're going to have a good idea of course, we already know who are the front runners going to be, but maybe a few of these teams that we have not heard of will be able to see the kind of show that they can put on when they do go up against the big guns.
All right. So, I'm looking forward to the mix of talents, the different skill levels, and what they have to offer. So, being this is the first match of the whole tournament and the map is Mirage, do you have any tips and tricks for the viewers? Like some things that you've seen, some advantages that teams can take off specifically in this map? What is it unique for?
Sorry? I missed
Sorry,
you.
no problem. So Mirage being this map, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any tips and tricks for the viewers, like what they can keep a lookout for, or like a play that has recently come about?
So the one thing I am super interested in to see how these teams have adapted. Yes, it has been quite some time now since the update was made, but the update to the bench at lower mid. So now that allows for a one-man boost into Sniper Nest, and that pretty much changes the dynamics of playing a mid control on Mirage on the T side. So I want to see if how some of these newer teams are going to utilize that to their advantage, and how the CTs are going to be prepared for that change of approach.
Right. 100%. So, guys, this tournament will last a month long. So, it's from the 7th of July to about the 7th of August. So, it's going to be a very, very long tournament, and we will be streaming at least 4 maps a day.
We're actually doing two
during the rest
maps.
of
We are doing 2 maps a day, and I believe we are doing
oh,
4 maps during the weekends. So that
sorry,
is
yeah. During
a
the weekends is the
lot,
maps.
a lot of Counter Strike for all the CS:GO fans at home. 1 month long, 230 teams. I think with the current lockdown or the situation that's going on. A lot of these gamers have been able to put in a lot of practice as well over the last few months, and I think we're going to see competition at its very best for the month to come, Apple.
100%. Now, as we wait on the status of
Yeah, so I'm looking at the lobby right now. We're just waiting on
mhm,
one more player to join in from Wasted Potential. We do have 9
right.
players in the lobby, so it should just take us a couple more moments to get the match started. But yeah, uh, 1 month long pistol round is, I guess, already been played out, and TimetoRage has opted to start off on the CT side. So Mirage, again, a map where I think it is slightly CT sided, not as much as maybe some of the other maps like Train, but I think even in a best of one, the fact that you start off on your comfortable side and start building some momentum does play a big part, especially when you're one of the relatively new teams where you don't really have enough experience to play from behind, especially when your back's against the wall, the pressure's on you. You don't really know, hey, what am I going to do at this point of time? To keep your cool at that time and still be able to see through situations like that in a best of one is critical. And starting off on your comfortable side, I think it's going to play a very big part. And TimetoRage, have got that checked off already.
All right. And it's good that you mentioned team communication. So, in the early stages of the tournament, you're not going to have a best of three because time is of an essence and it's always a best of one. Now, when it comes to teamwork and team communication,
Yeah.
do you have any advice on what is the best way to keep your team together?
Best way to keep your team together, practice. Don't really. I think the biggest problem that happens in many cases is the fact that when we do have a team facing a loss, it's all good when you're winning, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
happy. You're gonna getting
Momentum.
match after match. Yes, you're all happy. Camp is happy, but in situations you end up losing a match or two, especially a match that you collectively as a team expected to win. Those are the kind of matches that eventually test the strength of your team. I think it is where players eventually kind of feel low, take it out on their teammates. The very next moment, they're looking at possibly changing a few players in the squad, sometimes completely disbanding away. Constant changes in your teams is an issue where eventually you're not really gonna have enough in terms of synergy, not having stuck together as 5 to eventually take you over a certain few teams which have abundance of skill, right? So I think that is one of the problems that teams will be looking to tackle, and unfortunately that hasn't really been the case as much in the past, but hopefully in the future with big tournaments coming in like this very frequently, kind of urges the team as well. Hey, that is 3.5 lakh INR on the line, and with tournaments happening this frequently, it gives them more incentive to put aside those differences and look more from the angle of team building and sticking together as 5.
Yeah. 100%. When you have a good prize pool, you have good rewards, players definitely look forward to the tournament a lot more. They're going to train very hard.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see their hard work pay off.
Yeah.
Training all those hours with your teams, and then you can even team up with your friends. And I think that's one of, the better parts, joining a tournament in hopes to win a reward and overall having fun with your friends ultimately. And so from 5th to 8th place, it's going to be 20,000 INR for each team. And that's a lot to walk away with. So, I mean, even if you try out your luck, you go into the tournament, you don't make it, there's always next time. But if you make it up to eighth place, I will be happy with that. But
Yeah, but that is,
first place is always going to be the goal.
yeah, I think it is paramount, especially for the newer teams, to set goals. You want to take baby steps at a time, right? If you're a newer
Yeah.
team, you're not thinking, hey, I'm going to win this tournament. You're thinking, hey, I'm going to get through the first 2 rounds first, then look at maybe the quarterfinals. And once you're there, you're the underdog. Nobody's looking at you. You have absolutely no pressure. And see, I have seen situations like that turn in favor of the underdogs, wherein there's a lot of pressure on your opponents to perform, and you not having the spotlight on you allows you to play a lot more freely. And maybe we see an upset in the cards. If not, I think in a field of this caliber where we have all the top players duking it out, I think reaching the quarterfinals itself is going to be quite a lot to boast about. And if you win it all the way, then yeah, you're the absolute best.
All right. So, guys, remember, this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament that you're watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and our media partner is AFK Gaming. We're taking a little while to start
Yeah,
as
so
one.
I have an update on that. We do
Oh,
have the
give it
last
to us.
player. We have the last player in the server, and yeah, with that, I believe it's going to be a matter of time. In fact, the game has unpaused, so let's just dive straight into the action. Oh, they did call a timeout, but yeah, the players are ready. I see all 10 players in. I'm super hyped. It is going to be Waste of Potential versus TimetoRage. So I guess we dive straight into the action. All right, what's up everyone? I'm Shades here. Joining me is OG, the low-res chicken. Should be up with us in a moment. Round number 1 of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, powered by Lenovo and Intel. OG, my man, what's up?
Well, I'm pretty hyped. It's been a while since we've seen a CS tournament of this scale, and it's gonna be for every single team to give their absolute 100%. It's gonna be a pretty hard ask from TimetoRage because I've seen a couple of players from Wasted Potential, Fuse, Kara, Yellow Flash. Their names are pretty reminiscent of what you'd consider underdogs, especially in the Indian scene, and they're ready to kick it up in the league, especially for Behold, as they've stacked 4 men and they're just walking in a grab, Yellow Flash. They just clean house without any hesitation whatsoever.
They came in with a game plan, and that just got absolutely stopped in its tracks there. OG, the push through mid towards B, and they were ready with 3 CTs there from the get-go. Waste of Potential, start off strong.
To be honest, when you are the more confident team, this kind of place and setup should be expected. Especially on a map like Mirage, it's very common for the CTs to have one player towards A with a kit for retake, a player towards mid just to not allow the mid control to go away for free, and 3 men at B just holding the fort down in case there's a rush. TimetoRage, it is just pistols on their hands. The max they can expect now is a bomb plant. They're spread out pretty wide, and Kara, through the smoke, would you have it any other way?
And look at this push through behind enemy lines. Rio cleans up, and that's gonna leave it all down to Neo. Now he has the C4, but he's getting pushed here by Fuse. He has the Deagle on him, but he's not gonna be given an opportunity to put it to use. Waste of Potential, flawless anti-eco there.
This is the tricky part when it comes to the T side of Mirage. At least in what I'd consider the current meta, I'd say Mirage is a slightly more T-sided map, considering that mid is a little harder for the CTs to contest towards the middle segment of the round, courtesy of the bends that he spoke about during the pre-game analysis. Let's see if TimetoRage are able to try and pull out something out of the bag. They have a lot of utility. That's a huge plus point. They have so much that can enable them this round. All that they need is that one opening pick that they can potentially collapse upon. doesn't seem like wasted potential or offering anything up for free though.
Yeah, they're going to play it slow though. They're setting up for an A execute right now. We do have Fuse playing up and personal. Yellow Flash up on stairs. The smokes comes in. Immediately the incendiary to stop the push. You do have Fuse on sandwich. Yellow Flash is going to drop back in towards the site and the push is coming in, OG.
And look at the push from B. He's already on the way to respawn. It's going to be a sandwich. TimetoRage. It's going to hurt pretty bad. Fuse. A really, really good position, and his teammates are in the perfect position to buy bait as well. Going on the wide swing, Rio with the double, and this is just a mow down. TimetoRage. They're just simply not finding any ground where they can fight, and Fuse, a furious drive-by, and he's looking for the last Shaktiman gets dinked. Oh boy, now I know why he's a thing of the past, because he just cannot survive this onslaught, the aggression, the push, the utility, everything so... It's just like you have so much things thrown at you, you just have no clue as to how to respond. TimetoRage, they need to try and just relax. They force it on a buy, which is not really the best of the call to give, especially during this segment of the game. Macton's out, cool, but WP, they've had a very flawless start. That means their economy is going to be off to a very good place. With them already investing in an AWP, it's going to be a little hard for TimetoRage to break this setup, let alone try and put in some kind of damage.
Others towards the A side, Fuse is going to pick the big green up, while on B, Kara as well as Mike. They haven't really been put to test in the last couple of rounds, but that seems like it might change as we do have 3 players from TimetoRage taking early control outside of B.
The push through underpass. For now, WP are playing a little more passive. Perhaps just trying to test what would happen to TimetoRage if time's given. Kara, beautiful defensive smoke after that initial pick, and that's just gonna be crawling on through Kara. Here comes the pain. Shaktiman finally gets a frag, but he just walk in a mic. There is simply no way that TimetoRage can escape this with an advantage. It's all left on a Gustavo. And boy, oh boy, does he have a Herculean task ahead of him. Mike's down to 14. If he gets the skill on a Mike and takes care of the backstab, he'll have something to work with, but that's too little too late. Down 11 HP. He's just playing with his feud. Fuse comes in with the AWP. It is, it's just quite apparent that team WP have such a distinct advantage when it comes to firepower. TimetoRage, they really need to have the utility game down at the wire when they have some kind of control. You can see that WP are not just playing completely disrespect, right? They gave a lot of respect to Team TimetoRage in the previous round, but with a lot of utility and nothing done with that utility, it was just a cakewalk for Kara and Mike.
Yep. And we did see one of the players disconnect out, so the guys from TimetoRage do get a welcome break. But at this point of time, not the best of starts, especially in a best of one. We were talking, I was talking to Apollonia earlier during the pregame. This is a format that you need to get used to the fact that you don't really have too many rounds to throw, and before you know it, the match just might slip away, leading into straight up an elimination. Okay.
Exactly. Considering that it's Mirage, where you need a lot of utility on the T side, that's something that TimetoRage should keep in their mind. I'm not really sure where that smoke was intended to go. Regardless, their intentions are clear. They want to try getting a pick towards B, poke at the B defense, see where there might be some kind of hole in the defense of the CT side, where right now it seems like they have almost every portion of the map covered. The deep smoke through underpass, just the amount of map control that WP has is unfathomable.
And the Molotov is gonna cook Shaktiman up. He's gonna go down to the AWP. This is looking pretty grim right now. 2v5. The timeout pretty much did absolutely nothing to the T's right here. They're getting picked one by one. Waste their potential. They're hardly breaking a sweat right now, OG.
Yeah, they're just styling on them, running in with ops. TimetoRage. They have They have a couple of more rounds to play with on the T side. It's still not gone yet. It's 5-0, and that's the beauty of CS, right? Given that lost the game until the enemy team hit 16, they still have a fighting chance. And more than just that, the half's still young. It's their investment that worries me a lot, because they keep investing into these SMGs and utility, but you don't really see them get in range where the SMG is useful, or throw the utility which helps them put it to the best of use. Right now, a nade ball combo would completely ruin them. Kara, beautiful nade and a nice position, but Flash is on point. Mike, he needs to be on the hold. They've just completely overpowered him. Yellow Flash on the road. No! The collateral! 2 birds, 1 stone. Rio coming in from B short. Gustavo tagged down pretty low. Yellow Flash cannot hit the shot on the white swing. Rio, he knows that Shaktiman is close through B short, and he's just trying to find time due to that smoke. But the utility out in the hand. Fuse down to 1 versus 1. This is the closest TimetoRage have come to win a round. Flash in, Fuse dodging it, but luckily, Shaktiman has made it over the edge. Fuse wants to force the issue. He has so much time, but the no-scope doesn't connect. Shaktiman. Well, now you know why he's our one and only superhero.
Well, they managed to get themselves on the scorecard with not the greatest of buys, mind you, but they did manage to overwhelm the 2 CTs on the site. The AWP eventually from Yellow Flash, despite I think getting the collateral there, not really enough to seal the deal there. The final 1v1 going the way of TimetoRage. Let's see if they can kind of go ahead and repeat that, but it looks like they're just going to charging. B-Rush, and Kara is going to be ready this time, gets the one, is straight in, coming in from Mike, able to find one. He's out of ammo, no time to go for the reload, but backup has already arrived. It is curtains here.
Oh boy, they just try to replicate success, but after one time of asking, WP just learned their lesson. Kara, he was smart enough to dodge the flash, but TimetoRage missed a couple flashes there. Can't be a little sweet about that. TimetoRage have enough money to invest though. What's the game plan here if you're TimetoRage? Do you try to...
One round at a time. I think 1 round at a time. You have the B-Rush is just not working. I mean, they used it as a surprise last time around and it worked. But trying to just repeat that time and again, I don't think is the answer.
Just look at the confidence that Team WP have on their side. Aggressive smoke through underpass, aggressive stance at B apps, aggressive stance at A ramp, and there is no place for TimetoRage to hide. They're having a lot of time at their disposal. They have a decent bit of utility, but they're not being in position to use it. And Mike just completely mowing them down. TimetoRage perhaps trying to buy distraction towards B, but it simply doesn't work. Regardless where they go, they're walking into the meat grinder. And Shaktiman only with 2 HP. We know he's Shaktiman. We've all seen what he does in a...
We saw him the last time around, but this time...
Yeah, it ain't...
yeah,
no cigar.
Not the second time in a row. Wasted potential, 7-1. There's absolutely no stopping them. And TimetoRage, it's 2 rounds now where they've kind of gone in with a mix buy. They're just forcing in time and again. Yes, they do have enough utility, but not really having enough firepower. I think it's going to cost them a lot more rounds than to maybe call a timeout. Take an eco, take a breather.
Exactly. Timeouts are such an essential part of professional CS. It's a dynamic that no other game offers you. A chance to mentally reset, relax, and perhaps just breathe it out. Especially during times like these where regardless what you're doing, things ain't working. It can be such a lifeline for you, Neo. The flash dodged by Yellow Flash, going to the white swing. Ooh, that very well could have been a frag. Mind you, it is still a 4 versus 4. Yellow Flash has the AWP and Neo stepping up massively for his team. Downing Kara, who is trying to get overly aggressive towards the partners. Mind you, Yellow Flash is so dead low towards connector that the nade, ooh, it just slightly missed the mark. Yellow Flash slightly faster on the trigger and the Molotov just doesn't touch him. Neo, his position is discovered and Fuse has dropped the bomb. Yellow Flash, calm, cool, collected, lands the flick. It's all left on Infinity X. But he has to have one hell of a round to get his team back. Considering the vents are not broken, he has a chance to get back to the bomb undetected. But WP are always a step ahead. Talk about them being a step ahead. They are a mile ahead considering their aggression. Time to rage. Time to take a timeout.
Yeah, it is high time. Else, the next thing you know, it is a 16 rounds to waste your potential, and it is all curtains. As of now, Snappy has quite a big task ahead of him. He managed to get the first. He needs to get the jump on Mike though. Mike is holding that angle down. Knew exactly where Snappy was coming from. Was clearly gonna be the player with the advantage if that duel did happen. And 8-1. They do have a Rio joining in, but I think he joined in a second too late. And
I think he might have joined the wrong team. Something must have gone wrong, but I don't think they would be feeling all that uncomfortable playing this in 4 versus 5 as well. I mean, to be honest, with the way WP are playing, it's about them reaching towards the further end of the tournament where they'll be tested. Again, these are names who are not known in the professional scene, but they are. Oh, that's great. I assume he might get the quad there. Carries left also Wilson though, and he's been solid towards B. That was a screw very loose. Yellow Flash with the op. We've seen him step up massively in the retake. With the defense spread so thin, it's gonna be real hard to put the op to good use, but Fuse comes in at the perfect time with the perfect angle and the perfect kill. Shaktiman and Gustavo, it's been a very good game for Shaktiman, but he needs to step up, and on such low HP, the op might just not be a factor.
it's a double op retake. They push through, they don't know the player in bench, and it's going to be all down to Fuse. He does have the HP, but time is ticking. He does not have a kit. He's going to find the first. He knows exactly where the last player is. Goes for the no-scope. Is going to land it. He has the kit as well, and he has the time. The defuse comes through. Wastes the potential. Double ops on the retake. Make it work. That might just have put Time to Rage over the edge, OG.
Well, again, their name is so fitting considering what the previous round was, but they need to be mentally resetting themselves right now. Even if you end the half 9-6, it's not all that bad. Even on the top tier of professional CS, the best of the teams have a maximum of 55% in terms of pistol round win rate. So they have a massive chance of turning this around if they win the second half pistol and if they secure every round in this half from here on out. But it seems like hard task already. Not an impossible one though. You need to give this benefit of the doubt to Time to Rage.
Yep, and they're slowly but surely out of any room for error. The window is closing in 9-1. The double ops are running strong right now for wasted potential, and it is going to need something different from Time to Rage. They can't basically expect to do the same thing time and again and expect to come out on top.
And they get aggressive after getting that first pick. Not really sure if they needed to. They could have just boiled the time down. Now they're a man disadvantage. Now's the time that they will take these gambling plays. Let's see if it pays off. Fuse. Oh boy, that is so tantalizing. Gets the no scope. Infinity X does come in with a refract though, making this an even 2 versus 3. But Mike is just so relentless in his aggression. Mind you, he walked all the way down A ramp to get these 2 kills.
Yeah, he walked all the way, the backstab, patiently coming in. The AWP at connector just held Time to Rage there for eternity. They even tried to gamble their way through the smoke and they get hit by that no scope. And yep, that is just a sign of this just not being Time to Rage's day, OG. Double digits for wasted potential, 6 rounds away from round 2.
Well, in the pregame you did discuss that for newer teams, tournaments like these are a really, really good platform for them to display their skill and abilities and perhaps even get picked up by bigger organizations. Well, even for teams like Time to Rage, this gives them an experience where they have to fight against hardship. That is the bread and butter of every professional player out there. Every professional player goes through a period where they're not the best. You're not even good. You might be bad, but You're preparing yourself. You're training every single day to get to that level where you feel comfortable, you get the respect, and you get whatever you're going after as a professional. This might just be their humble beginning. Who knows? A few years down the line, they might just completely own uh, WP. Uh, Again, we've seen players like this, personal experience coming in. We've seen teams from Bangalore itself, teams like Wings, teams like Blaze, who now play in the big leagues, who are once small names. It took them 2 years. There's nothing that Blaze or what Wings were before have that TimetoRage doesn't. They have the game, they have the brain. All they need is their dedication. And while playing such a hard game and still going in it, guns blazing, at least that level of sportsmanship is commendable from TimetoRage.
And the Negev goes in. M249 rather. Is
Oh,
gonna
boy.
pick up 2 easy kills. And that.
Just talk about the salt that the F49 comes out. Maybe TimetoRage could turn this on their head. Still an unlikely prospect though. Have a couple of flashes, Neo tag down 19, and WP are just circling around them like sharks. Even the spam coming in. With the push through a palace, yeah, this should be a 12th round on the board for the CT side. Going further, considering that this is a best of one single elimination tournament, I really am excited to see what the underdogs have to offer. We've seen so many instances where these online best of ones have just delivered stories which turn everyone on their head.
Yep.
A quite recent one would be Complexity winning against, if I'm not wrong, that was G2, where every single person in the NA scene was taken by shock.
Oh,
I hope that we
the
have
timing
something
there.
that could have been a 1 versus 2 victory, but yeah, no cigar again. WP just coming in on the luckiest side of the timing. TimetoRage is looking a little bleak for them. Let's see if they can have a couple of lulls along the way. We have the P90 out, a couple of flashes, maybe another B rush is underway. What would you do if you were in such a situation, Shade?
I don't know. I think the time has gone by where you probably eco it and go for the full buy. But I would definitely would have liked Neo and Gustavo to have fully invested into this. Let's see if Kara's gonna check the corner, which
Yep.
will.
Heads
Yeah.
up play from Kara, and with a commitment towards B, the big force held strong so many times. There's no point of doubting it at this moment. But of course, the plan? No, they take the engagement. A wise choice. The rotation's already in though, considering how aggressive WP have been. They know exactly what TimetoRage are doing and where exactly the position. Kara swoops in to deny the plan. 13-1. Quite the dominant start for this tournament. WP. The M249 out. Let's have a bet, Shade. How many kills do you think Fuse can get with that M249? I'd say he gets at least 2.
At least I think that is would be the best case right now, especially considering that TimetoRage haven't really put all their eggs in one basket for quite some time now. They have split up. They try and approach the attack, both split towards A and B. So Fuse this time.
Nah, they're not headed towards A. With a commitment towards B short, it's gonna be a quick split. Mike could deny this though. The bombs towards bottom mid, and that's something that you need to be a little scared about. Mike is standing so low. He goes in for the repeat, and the bombs towards connector. What is this nonsense? Oh no, they've just given away a 3 versus 5 Shade. This is unreal.
Well, it might still be possible here. Rio, that's one, almost, all needs one, where's the tackle, it's gonna find it, 14-1 to close out the first half for wasted potential. And TimetoRage, this has been just one of those halves where you say, hey, this is just not my day.
Boy, TimetoRage. You know, if I was in the team, so I've been in many underdog teams when I was trying to be a player, and what you do in this situation is just go out of the box.
Yep.
Sometimes maybe just push forward towards mid, see if you can get any picks, see if you can get any kind of highlights. Just relax, enjoy the tournament for what it is. There's no point of going into a tournament and coming in.
And right now they have
disappointed and
absolutely nothing to lose. Their
yeah,
chances.
they have nothing to lose. Ash, nice one tap, and this is what I'm talking about, right? You go in confident, you play your game, you at least have some fun, and you get something going for yourself the next tournament. Little flash, you connect, and he's been offered a lot of aim deals, taking them at his own sweet and merry time. Time to rage, just falling like dominoes, down at 2 versus 3 Fuse, just running in shot with the eagle, not something that you see every day with the ball. That's what he's after, that's the prize. It's dropped on top of the box, I hope he can just jump and pick it up. So he's left alone now, and there's no hand to help him. He knows that there should be one towards backside, and his teammate has given the call that there are 2 towards A, so he should force this engagement as soon as he can, but Shaktiman. Beautiful headshot, time to rage, time to have some fun. 14-2.
Yep. Shaktiman played that intelligently there. He knew the C4 was not there. All he had to do was just buy time and wait for his teammates to get rid of the other T who was playing in at connector, which is exactly how things played out, and eventually Time to Rage are able to take the pistol round. It is still a very, very long road before we can start talking things like a comeback, but it's a step in the right direction.
Well, talking about other aspects of this, rather than talking about the game itself, why not talk about the competition the game has, right? We've seen such a resurgence in not only gaming, but in FPS in India with the introduction of Valorant, CS, both of them running in full speed. It's going to be one delightful year, especially considering that all of us are going to be in quarantine. It's going to be one entertaining year as well.
Yep, and with tournaments of the scale of the Rise of Legion, things are only looking upwards as... Oh! Not as much for Kara there, gets his head taken off clean by Gustavo. Yellow flash. We've seen this guy put on a show with the AWP. Now, Deagle, 55 HP. Let's see if there are a couple more tricks up his sleeve, OG.
Well, Deagle, especially Eco in India, they're quite renowned to try and turn their heads, but not in this case. 14-3, WP. They might just be comfortable just forcing in, They have nothing to worry about per se. It's pretty evident that Team WP have so much more firepower than what Time to Rage have to offer. So even if they do take straight up aim deals, on the T side, that's exactly what you're going after. Maybe Time to Rage will just offer it up on the table. They have a lot of utility though. If Time to Rage use their utility wisely, I can realistically see them winning this round at least. For the B hit. Now, yeah, it's not hard enough. And considering that Kara had one of the AKs that WP did possess, it's a huge pick that was just given away. Time to Rage, they're giving these 1 versus 1s to WP, but they're coming on top of it. Pretty respectable act from the underdogs. Fuse, down to 5 HP, not much you should be able to do. Wide swing with the M4, have you ever seen anything like it? It could be a clutch shade. I'm seeing this coming over the horizon. And boy, oh boy, have I just jinxed the loss for Time to Rage? Is this Time to Rage? Oh, it is. Yeah. A 2 versus 4 with a Deagle and an AK to completely wreck the CT defense. 15-3, Time to Rage. Things haven't looked this bleak in a while. They have every single penny invested in this round. 2 Deagles, a P90, a max 7 and M4 to try and make this work, and Neo already spotted out in his aggressive counter. Runner past Rio, a little overzealous on his prey, but yeah, they just clean house towards A 2 versus 4. We've seen it pulled off, but by the opposing side, it's all left on Infinity Act. And quite the dominant start for Team WP in this tournament, I must say.
Well, that was as convincing as it gets. Let's jump on over and join Apollonia here. That was an amazing game, Apple. Very close indeed, but I must say, not as tight of a match that we initially expected it to be, Apple. I think, yeah, Apple, I think you're muted right now. There you
Sorry.
go. There you go.
You can hear me now, right?
Yes.
My mistake. All right. So, Wasted Potential, congrats for winning the first best of one. And there was definitely a huge skill gap there, but we could see, Rage of Hunters, they were more comfortable on the side of CT. After the side swap, they got 2 rounds for themselves, but it was too late because Wasted Potential absolutely killed it in the first half. I must say that Mike Teff was really leading the charge, and a Fuse Relax was awesome on the AWP. So how did you feel about that game?
I think there was a huge difference in terms of the skill gap between the first, between the teams in the first match. I think Wasted Potential clearly were the better squad coming into this. TimetoRage would have required something absolutely extraordinary to have pulled that off, but Wasted Potential, it's not that there weren't opportunities for TimetoRage. There were quite a few rounds that went down to a 2v2 or 2v4 or 2v1, all in favor of TimetoRage, but Wasted Potential on every single one of those occasions were able to easily maneuver through and clutch it time and again, and the final scoreline, I think, kind of says it all. It was Wasted Potential's day. Clearly the better team. So much firepower brought on Mirage. There were a couple of rounds initially, especially the one round early on when that B-rush happened towards the B-rush from, of course, TimetoRage, which completely caught Wasted Potential off guard. But the problem therein was Wasted Potential said, hey, now we know at least a specific strat to expect from TimetoRage, and TimetoRage unfortunately didn't think it through. They went ahead with that exact same B-rush yet again, while Wasted Potential were completely ready for that. And from that point on, I didn't really see a well thought out game plan from TimetoRage. They did not have plan B. They came in with a couple of strats, a couple of executes ready, but they did not have a backup in case that failed, and that clearly showed. After a point of time, we saw them kind of force by, try and force the issue, but Wasted Potential were having none of it. Clearly the better team, Apple.
All right. Yeah. It's very important to come in with multiple strategies to anticipate all the different possibilities that can happen, especially when you're up against teams that you don't even know who you're going to be up against. And, you always got to play your best. But without further ado, I would like to say congratulations again to Wasted Potential for making it past the round of 256. Now, guys, this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament that you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and our media partner is AFK Gaming. We're going to prep for map number 2, so do stay tuned. It will be Raw GG versus Apex. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back very soon.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel with our media partner who is AFK Gaming. And we had a great first map. I mean, it was a stomping, but now we are back with game number 2. My name is Apollonia, and joining me is Shade Slayer. You all already know, the favorite caster and analyst we all love. So now we are going to have Roar GG versus Apex. Any expectations, or it's just going to be wait and see?
I think we're gonna have to wait and see at least the first few rounds, because we can break it down as much as in as much detail as possible. But at the end of the day, if we see something on the lines of the previous match that we witnessed, where one team is just heavily outskilling the other, then it's going to be a pretty much a dominant show from one team. So, but however, we have a change in map. We're going to be playing Overpass this time around. We did talk during the last match on how Mirage, Inferno and now Overpass are pretty much go-to comfort picks for most of the squads. So I expect this to be, for both teams in fact, to be pretty much comfortable on this map.
All right. So, in the first map, it was a stomping for the side of Wasted Potential. They made it past the round of 256.
Yeah.
I am hoping that it's not going to be so much that and more of like a close match between both teams. And, when it's so one-sided, there's not a lot of things to look forward to. But I'm glad that this map now is Overpass. It's not a repeat of what we had in the first game, which was Mirage. So now it's Overpass. And you did mention that Mirage is more, CT sided. And we saw Wasted Potential really excel on the counter-terrorist side. As for Overpass, what are your thoughts? Is it a little bit more balanced or?
I think it's very similar to how Mirage is. It is slightly CT sided, but to be able to have a successful half, be it T or CT, utility plays a very important part in Overpass. There's a lot of avenues, points that you need to be wary of when you're looking to enter a site, and not having the adequate amount of utility is definitely going to hurt you in that regard. So the team that is able to sustain the economy through this match is the one that is going to come out on top.
All right. And before we get into it, we're waiting for the players to get ready and all of that before the match starts. Let's just talk a little bit about the previous game. Now, we saw actually a lot of mismanagement with the economy and how it really bit Rage of Hunters so hard. Tell us about that.
So the important thing, especially in best of ones, is you need to understand there is very little room for error. If you don't really have momentum on your side and you're not able to trade rounds, chances are the match just immediately slips away from underneath you. And one easy way to make that actually happen is to not really manage your economy well, and that is exactly what happened the last time around with I believe it was Rage something. I forgot. I don't remember the
Rage
name.
of Hunters.
Rage of Hunters, yes. So what happened in that case was there were a lot of situations where they were sitting around the $3,000, $3,600 mark, and they just decided to go for the forced buys. Sometimes lacking in utility, sometimes lacking in the firepower itself. 2 AKs with SMGs, upgraded pistols, those kind of buys. It is a Hail Mary play. It's not something you want to be betting on, especially in a best of one. You would rather take the round hit, eco down, ensure that you have enough utility to get a proper execute out, and in best of ones, especially when it is teams that are slightly inexperienced playing matches in a tournament of this caliber, sometimes the pressure gets to you. That is what happens. You're not thinking straight. I think that is where the in-game leader steps in. He's gonna have to keep calm, keep his troops in check, take a timeout if necessary. We did not see timeouts being used at all. I think that was something that they could have done there, especially when the momentum was swaying in favor of wasted potential. Just call a timeout, talk things through with your team, talk about what you want to be doing in terms of economy with your buy, in terms of what your strats are going to be, what are your alternate plays. But instead of that, we saw the teams just basically going round after round, just instinctively going with a force buy time and again, and just even doing that on one or two occasions is enough to cost you the entire map. And in a BO1, there are no second chances. You're out of the tournament. So I think it is a good example for the newer teams who are taking part today, as well as for the rest of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, to stay calm and take your time, look for your plan Bs, plan Cs, and not really rush round after round.
All right. So, guys, as you know, today is day one of the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, and we are in the round of 256. So, like how Shade Slayer explained, there will be a lot of skill mismatches. You might see a lot more stompings, not a lot of close matches, but we're going to hope that this game number 2 that we're going to have between Raw GG versus Apex is going to be a little bit more, exhilarating, where we sit on the edge of our seat like, oh, okay, this is actually a close match. We can hope, but usually it doesn't happen.
But I mean, that is the beauty of massive tournaments, right? You initial rounds, except for the known teams, you don't really know what to expect. But you always have those one or two matches that you get to see where it pretty much goes down to the wire, and more often than not, it is pretty much a slugfest between the two teams. They're just duking it out, duel after duel, almost on the lines of death matching each other out. So those are the kind of games that eventually make it all worthwhile. So here's to hoping Roar GG and Apex turns out to be a lot closer than the previous match that we witnessed. Overpass again, I believe Roar GG did win the knife and will be starting on the CT side. I want to see if Apex have come in with a game plan here, because on the T side, unless you have a few good executes under your belt, it is pretty hard if you're just looking to take duel after duel, especially in a match where both teams are equally skilled. So if I have to, I don't think I'm in a position right now, since I don't know the players, to make a prediction, but hey, why not? I think I'm going to go with Roar GG.
All right. So do we have a status on?
Yeah, so I'm looking at it. Yeah, we do have all players in the lobby. I think it should be just a minute or so before we jump into the match. Here's fingers crossed that it's going to be a close one. But if not, we did see. So though Wasted Potential versus Rage was not a tight contest whatsoever, we got to see amazing frags. We got to see a lot of individual brilliance. We saw, I believe there was Yellow with the AWP time and again on that B side retake as well. We saw the collateral coming through. We saw the op hold at connector as well when the smoke was down. Some awesome big green plays with the big green up close and personal, and I think over here as well, we're going to get to see maybe some of that towards the connector area. We've seen the Swag
I
7
really-
being pulled out there time and again for some awesome plays. So here's hoping to see some of that. I've seen, in fact, Marzil from Blaze use the auto shotty time and again in connector on overpass. And I must say it is very potent. Tight angles to hold, very hard to overcome unless you've got your trade in place. But yeah, we don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, we can debate all we want on how this match might play out, and chances are it's going to be completely 180 when the match actually goes live.
Exactly. It was funny. While you were watching and you were casting, the previous game, and there was a moment where Wasted Potential was so ahead of their opponents that they took out the end gaff and just ran it down and just sprayed everybody and called it a day. And I felt their Rage of Hunters, they were most definitely more comfortable on the side of counter-terrorists because they only won one round on T side. And after the side swap happened, they won two, kind of like back to back. And it was like, okay, but then you could see that Wasted Potential had just gained so much momentum, like their energy was running high, and they just closed the map down. Like they just
Yeah,
took
so
everyone.
the problem there again was the fact that Rage had maybe 2 or 3 different executes, but that was pretty much it. Besides the rounds where they managed to get an early pick off, or the rounds where that one specific round where they got that B rush in, we didn't really see anything sophisticated from Rage, and Wasted Potential were allowed to basically dictate the terms from the CT side. And on multiple occasions, we saw them playing aggressive, whether it was pushing up from underpass or whether it was taking the shotgun aggressive through A main, or whether it was pushing Palace for an early peak with the AWP. These kind of aggressive plays netted them early man advantages, and on the T side, being a man down, not only is it less firepower, but it is less utility that you have when the time comes in for the eventual execute, and that is less firepower that you have as well when you eventually hit the site. So all of these factors eventually meant Wasted Potential had a far easier game than what they might have expected it to be. But the key here is in Beer Ones, you want to start off strong. You want to build that momentum, and chances are if your opponents don't really do much to break that with alternate strategies or with timeouts or with both, you're going to be in a much better position to see things through and move on to the future rounds. That being said,
100%.
yeah, I think we are ready for the match. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the action. We have Roar GG going up against Apex here. I am Shetsaya. Joining me is OG, the low res chicken. OG, what's up?
Well, I'm not sure what's up with this game. Noob Zera has only his knife. He's running back all the way to spawn to pick up a USB. Luckily, his team does hold the fort though. Extreme could have gotten that kill. SJ is so low on health. Mind you, both these players have 40 HP between them. It's very possible that Noob Zera can get this clutch. The first shot's in. Mind you, Venom did not swing wide again. The weak frag, and he's so dead. Wait, what? How did he have the courage to just pass without any questions asked? If he was not in Noob Zera, he might just force the issue. Venom just comes running into his corner, but how? This pistol round is questionable at the very best, but damn was it entertaining. It started off with Noob Zera running back all the way through CD spawn to get a pistol, while the rest of his teammates did punch in the damage. He couldn't punch in the final kill. 1-0 start nonetheless. Apex starting it strong, and again, Overpass is a map which I'd consider a little more CD-sided, considering that the mid-round aggression is really rewarding. We've seen players like Marcel completely abuse the living hell out of this map, and the XM114, his fabled gun.
Yeah.
Let's see if Roar GG have anything to say about this, because they have invested into this run completely. They have 4 Deagles, a little utility to go alongside, and they have keys on an MP9. The one thing that they do lack though is a kit. Time is of the essence here, and Apex, they might just prefer to play this one slow. Beautiful shot. Follow up there from Blood. Easy peasy lemon squeezy as they are trying to play on the back of this buddy system. Ace trying to get something going for him here towards long, but all he's gonna get is a tag on a hurry. Noobzera quick on the routine, has a deagle, dropped the bomb, could go massive, but the only thing is going his way is a bullet. That's all left on the only SMG invested, the MP9. Close quarters, this is what this gun's known for. Does not have a kit, so he needs to get these tracks real quick. What? Where are they looking? He might just be able to get the third frag as well. He's got another headshot, down to 1 versus 1. He needs the quad kill for the clutch, and SJ is down to 24 HP. Has a nade, has a smoke, bombs up planet for SJ, but he could go aggressive, then he was long. SJ sprays his way to victory. But boy, did it get close.
Well, that came too close for comfort at the end there. With the initial spray, manages to whiff it, but with the pistol there, able to find 2. The smoke though almost allows him to pull off a fast one, but Apex barely managed to hold down.
He had a kit, it might have been a completely different story.
And
again, Pistols invested extreme. Done a good job to open this round up for Roar, but they need a lot more to convert upon, and this connector stack might just pay off, but Hari just mows them down, and he's pushing through connector, but he's not wary of the close angle. Down at 2 versus 3, but it's both rifles up.
Yeah, the rifles are up, but the pistols go to work early on towards the connector area, and they've managed to recover an AK on extreme. Man advantage for the CTs. They, however, don't have armor, so aim punch is gonna be an issue here right now towards the A site. We have extreme with the AK, Noobzera with just the Teagle, but he's gonna have to make that work.
Oh.
Not the case, and it's all down to extreme. He wins the first duel out, wins the second, and Roar GG get themselves onto the scorecard in decent style, OG.
In the Indian style, I'd say.
With the pistols, right? I mean, that is something that I can safely say is almost become characteristic of many of the earlier round matches in Indian Counter-Strike. Pistols are not to be discounted whatsoever.
Yeah, every round's a buy round if you're playing in these kind of murky waters. Noobzera might just set himself up for a highlight here. The smoke buys him a little bit of time and ability for him to position, but the backstab's so quick. They are not going to be ready for this whatsoever. Apex being tunneled. The backline's closing in on him. Does he spot it? Blood does get those spot, but doesn't have the run to do the damage. They do down him with the Glocks nonetheless. A furious drive-by with 9 amps on their side. It's all left on the Venom. But nothing he could do as the aim punch is far too drastic. 2-2. Roar GG.
Well,
You've got to give them some kind of credit though, right? Even though they lost the initial few rounds, it's not at all the case as we did see in the first map of Mirage. They are fighting back and they are putting on a show.
and Apex there, I think, slowed it down so much, but were completely caught off guard with that backstab coming through. They had absolutely no idea of what hit them, and a little bit of indiscipline costs them a very important round there, and they're gonna have to go with a mix buy here with Blood having to make do with just the Mac 10.
Just Mac 10. Gonna be going down connector as well, so not the best of range for the Mac-10 initially. If he can close the distance, he can put in a real good work. Is it just me, or do you feel like Apex are a little too scared to take... Ooh, that's the opening. That's the opening that they've been vying for, the double scope. It almost just slipped away from his grasp. Extreme. He's done a real good job getting aggressive in this downtime, getting a lot of map control and denying a lot of map control as well for Apex. He does fall back though. After the neutralizer, there's really no need to overcommit, especially in a position where there's no refrag whatsoever.
And the op from Superkeeper. Timing. This works in
Timing
his
and a
favor.
little bit of position. Venom should have been concealed towards mid when he was trying to watch the push towards parry.
And they've seen
Boy.
the C4 down, the push through, kind of a Hail Mary play. How on earth does he miss that there? He's gonna land it the second time around. Revenant on the AWP, not gonna be offered an opportunity to save it. Roar GG, 3 rounds on the trot are gonna take the lead.
Whew. The CD side, often a little harder to execute this kind of aggressive stance, but Apex are simply very, very scared. At one point, it was legit all of them just camping towards B long and T spawn. You need to get some amount of map control. You need to have at least one man scouting towards A. Just put some kind of pressure so Rogue don't feel so comfortable that they're able to push all the way through mid and towards Steve A. Snoop, Zera, the run towards B, and he has an M4 using it perfectly. Pistols are close, but they cannot finish the job off. Mow down, Rogue GG. They do not lose a single player on the hold. 4-2 as they extend their lead, and Apex now with the chance to fight back as they finally come in on the investment.
Well, that is as smooth of an anti-eco that you can expect there. Roar GG. The B hit from Apex completely stopped in its tracks as they waste no time here getting their 4th round on the board. The buy comes in from the T's and looks like they're going to have a contest towards A here. AWP back in play, but they're not
Again,
going to make the
Apex
push early.
is so scared. They need to take mid control. This is an absolute necessity, and Extreme is abusing it to the maximum. Apex, every single one of them just waiting for this push. Extreme, is he going to give it away or is he going to go massive? They line up for him. They go tumbling down and the bomb is dropped. Roar GG. Oh, GG Apex. How? There were 2 men just waiting for that exact push and they still get deleted.
And look at this. They are completely choking them at the moment, not allowing a push to come through. Noob Zera is able to trade that back across.
Through connector, yeah. He's able to get that frag and should be able to follow up on SJ. And this is just beating a man after he's down. It's not pretty, it's not nice, but if you have to win, it has to happen.
I mean, right now, if you're Apex, you gotta take a timeout and you need to say to yourself, hey, we are just letting Roar take too much real estate early on. There is no sort of contest coming in from Apex, whether it is towards B or whether it is towards Playground. They've just completely given up control. They're playing a very passive and they're just getting hit by aggressive plays from the CT side, and that's not a pretty place to be, is it, Oji?
And this comes, exactly, and this comes to show as well that winning these kind of one-off rounds can really give a lot of advantage. Apex, they looked confident in the start. They looked very confident, in fact, towards the pistol round, but it seems like that confidence is now a mirage of who they are right now. It doesn't seem to be all that appealing. Standing on top of the Molotov and taking the fight ain't really the best combination, my man. Reverend left all too lonesome. Just a flick of a wrist, and his entire team is down. How do you even reply to this kind of gameplay? Apex, they're a little too grouped up, but even if they're grouped up, they're not able to use the numbers to their advantage.
I mean, they did acknowledge the fact that, hey, we're getting pushed fast, we're playing way too slow, but the answer really wasn't to play it as fast as they did. It was the Molotov down at Monster and they decide to just straight up push through that, giving away the first kill. 3 players on the B site. they do absolutely no effort to kind of sniff that out. And if you're walking into a stack like that, chances are you're not walking away with that round, OG.
Exactly. Right now, perhaps they get some kind of real estate. They are doing that towards connector, but the bridge will be awfully fast. It might catch Rover off guard. Well, a police superkeeper is down. For finally something for Apex to work with, but the retaliation roar, they are simply not letting this one go. Man after man, kill after kill, they are stepping it up individually. It's all left on SJ82. It seems like a monumental task already, but it's still the T side of Overpass. They can come back.
Yeah.
They need to keep their head in the game. They need a timeout right here, right now. Recompose and head in with a new and fresh game plan.
Because these rounds are getting away far too quickly for Apex.
Before you know it, it's going to be 10-2.
Yep. And they need to put the brakes on Apex's momentum right now. Looks like that is not going to be the case. Instead, they're going to go in with a force buy. You see up SG on Harry and Venom respectively. AK is out, but utility again. It's just a few smokes and a flashbang. One Molotov. Not nearly enough to put up and execute.
By no means. When utility is at an all-time low, usually what teams do is they prioritize early picks, but they are getting picked off early. It's not supposed to go this way. What's happening to Apex? Reverend should have at least tried to contest for a refrag. He's hidden. This might catch them off guard though, Reverend. He's gonna be good for the kill. The bomb still dropped, and that's a huge problem. They know it as well because they saw the bomber die. Now they can just guard connector. Apex are not even in a position where they can contest. They need B-shot control. They need control towards the top of connector, which they do have. But of what avail?
Yeah.
As soon as they drop down the ladder, they are dead, man.
Right now we have SJ making his way towards Fountain. Venom's coming in that direction as well. Harry knows where the C4 is, but that would be pretty suicidal to go down the ladder right there. They do have flashbangs available. They're going to charge through. They get the trade in the first one. The Molotov is going to ensure that Venom doesn't get the C4 easily, and SJ right now at party.
Yeah.
1v3.
Good though. They needed a fast buddy system play in that. That's all that was missing in that piece.
He does have a fair bit of utility though. 2 flashbangs, a smoke.
But his position's already being watched. Extreme pulling the trigger with ease. 8-2. Roar GG 2 rounds away from double digits, where it seemed like we just started the game a few moments ago. Apex. Boy oh boy, how the rounds flipped fast out of their favor. They still are investing, but I'm still not getting why they're not investing completely. Reverend, Hurry, SJ, and Blood have more than enough money on the bank to get a little bit more utility on their end, but it simply doesn't seem to be the case. Perhaps gun game is what they're going for, but that's really not the essence of CS, is it? It's more about how you play around with utility and aggression, which it seems like Roar.gg have the better end of the stick thus far.
Push comes through. Look at Superkeeper.
Oh boy.
First one, second one should have been straightforward.
But he does end up missing it by an inch. Stream, swats out the head, takes his time, and pulls the trigger. He has done significant damage, and that will prevent Apex from getting overly aggressive towards A. Mind you, they have 2 men towards A. Usually you'd expect 2 men towards A initially and 3 men towards B, but it's a 3-man stack towards A from the get-go, and now they're going to abuse that to the maximum, baiting Apex into a false sense of security for a 2-for-1 trade, where it's not going to be the case whatsoever. Extreme could have landed the transfer. It very well could have been a 1 versus 2. But this has been quite the while from since Apex has been in a winnable situation. It's all left on his keys. The nade might be beautiful. Touchdown! Oh no, they just come up short. He needs to get this first frag. Blood is so low, down at 18 HP. Skis is gonna force the issue, but does he check towards his close left? He needs to. He absolutely has to.
Oh,
There goes the Weasel, and so goes the round for Apex. Roar, they gotta be feeling at an all-time high.
that is as crisp as it gets. Nicely done there. It did look like initially he wasn't gonna check that corner. Might have been a small window for Apex to clutch that out there, but Roar GG. It has been 9 consecutive rounds on the trot. We talked about this during the pregame as well. You gotta call timeout. You gotta put a stop to the momentum, especially in a one map match, else things are gonna get bad pretty soon.
Almost landed the flick.
Wait, is he gonna go?
He's repeaking quite a bit.
Yeah,
And that's just understandable.
I mean, the position they are in right now, I wouldn't really fault him for going for the repeat, especially when you have teammates like Extreme who are able to immediately turn the tides in your favor. Just like that, we're back to a man advantage for the CTs.
And they're looking to play aggressive as well. They have no patience. The bomb is dropped, mind you, and Roar know it. They could just stay back past and enjoy the day. Ooh, that almost could have been a choke. That almost could have been a choke. The survive on 10 HP. Blood, very less off it. SJ tries to land the flick just a second late. Blood swapping off guns, but really can't be a juggle in front of Roar. 10-2 Apex. It's looking quite bleak here in the first half, as they've won nothing besides their initial 2 rounds, the pistol and the follow-up, that is. It seems quite apparent that there is that skill gap between Roar and Apex, where Roar simply have a very good understanding of the game, how to play aggressive, how to execute the buddy system to perfection, and more importantly, when they're aggressive, they do it with a lot of utility, and the communication is so on point, right? They know exactly where Apex is, and the backstab's always in the nick of time. Super Keeper. The op on him has been instrumental for Roar to get up until this point. Extreme. Again, with every single one of these players, they've just been playing aggressively and they've been doing it so well. Ace finds the picking towards connector. Extreme catches Blood. Wrong direction. Yeah, it's just like Domino where they all fall single file. It's all left on a hurry, a 1 versus 3 ahead of him with 24 HP left. The only silver lining here is he has the bomb.
But 24 HP and no utility whatsoever, it's a pretty tall ask. However, there is no CT towards A, and if he does make a quick dart towards the site, he might just be able to get himself into a decent post-plant situation, but I do see Noob Zera already on the rotate. Let's see if he can catch him now. Spoke too fast.
Yeah.
11th round on the board for Roar GG. And the money, $3,900. Yeah, you can go for the AKs, but utility is almost going to be not there. And especially the form that Roar GG is in right now, I don't see how Apex are straight up going to win duels at this point, OG.
Exactly. Apex. Half. About to dim out. The flash over. Pete doesn't really find as much success. At least he learned from his previous mistake. Now he's on the retreat. Extreme. There's no reason for him to fall back. He's been so consistent towards connector and getting the opening pick. Ooh, he just missed him by a pixel. Reverend, he has all the sound cues to base his attack upon, and Extreme is being very, very cautious. He knows that there is a possibility that the push might come into the smoke, and he was more than prepared. Reverend, he just took a little too long in getting positioned. Backup's there. The pincer towards mid from Roar. Roar! Oh! I assume that might have been a kill, but Super Keeper, he has been missing a little bit of prowess towards this lady set off. Ace swooping it from the bathroom to collect Blood, where they have slain Apex. 12-2. Boy.
I mean,
At least
Apex
it's
had,
not-
I mean, they did have the game plan right there. The one thing that they absolutely needed there was to win that aim duel at connector. They win that fight, they take control of connector, and all of a sudden they have quite a bit of options, right? But right there, they lose that fight and they're now funneled in towards playground, and they had to force fight after fight. And Roar GG pretty much delayed it enough for backup to arrive, and it was a pretty straightforward one from that point on. Looks like they're just going to push in towards B waters, and it's going to be a straight up, clean up for Roar GG.
Yeah, it's all left on a Venom, but it seems like Roar have already called the janitor because they were wiped before clean. He comes in, it's a little iffy, gets 2 dinks. Not the finishing blow that he wanted. 13-2. If you're Apex right now, I don't know. If I was a player in their shoes, what I'd be doing is I'd be trying to be as creative as I can. It's the CT side, right? The CT side might allow you to play a little more aggressively, especially on a pistol round where it's not always against you, right? Even for the top teams, it's a 50-50 chance that they win or lose the pistol. So why not just try something out of the box? We've seen many teams stack towards connector. Maybe that's something that Apex could consider.
As of now, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. They're deciding to play it slightly passive, but it's a B hit. Blind as a bat. Blood somehow manages to get the first frag.
And Roar, they have found the refrag, but more importantly, they haven't lost momentum a single bit. Bombs down, Noob Zero already on the true CT. Oh my goodness, Apex. It looks a little uncomfortable. They are able to return fire though. Down at 2 vs 2 Extreme, down at 15 HP, and he's made his fall back. Reverent. He'll need to come up pretty massive here. All he needs is 1 bullet, but Extreme lands it in return. It's all left on SJ to try and salvage this round.
He has a kit though, so
He has to get that only silver lining. He has beautiful shot. He might just be able to straight up ninja this one. Is he gonna stick it? Ace? A little late on the challenge. Takes his time and pulls the trigger. Would he have it any better? 14-2. Roar of GG just looking to have this one a quick end.
well, that was probably the last opportunity for Apex to make a comeback into this one. They don't really have much of an option but to force buy here, but 2v2, it was always looking downhill there. Despite having the kit, time was always on the side of Roar GG, and we're looking to close this out pretty quickly here, Roji.
Yeah, a quick control push towards. Be short of the blood. Why didn't we see more of this in the first half? Definitely could have retaliated a couple of rounds and gotten a more redeeming scoreline, but it is what it is, and you have what you have, right? Ace, he has the ace, he has the straight out lying in front of him, and he collects it with ease. 15-2, Roar GG on match point.
Well, Roar wasting no time there. Ace pretty much styling on Apex there. The 3K from Waters, and this looks like this match is pretty much following the same path as the previous match that we watched. Roar GG, a dominating performance, and I think it's just all but formality here to seal this off and take their spot in round number 2.
Flash coming in. Be rushed to end this game. Would you have it any other way, Shade? Apex. Ooh, blood sneaking around murky waters, but that's exactly what you do not want to do. Roar. Having their eyes trained sharp towards every single pixel of his monitor. Yeah, the PP on the back lines really can't do much with the PP at this range because it's seriously ineffective against armor. Does take one down though. Ace taking the PP to the face, and SJ just taking all the bullets with Cold Embrace. 16-2, Roar GG. Another dominant start in this tournament for another team. I really cannot wait how this I can't wait for seeing more teams with that underdog storyline, right? We have a lot of them in this tournament, and as soon as we get out of this round of 248, it should be nothing but excitement hitting our shade.
Yeah, thank you so much, OG, for joining us. We're going to go back to Apollonia here. Apollonia, we broke that match down as much as we could, but I guess, like we also predicted, it went the other way around. Noob GG, what a dominant show.
Exactly. Apex, they got 2 rounds for themselves. And even with the side swap, it was just a struggle and, skill discrepancy. So 16-2, it was a little bit more of a stomping as compared to the first match that we saw that was 16-3. And so congratulations to Roar GG for making it out of round of 256. Now, overall, what are your thoughts about the game? Do you have any more to add on?
I think what was evident there was something that we had discussed during the pre-game was the fact that despite not having momentum on their side, Apex, they didn't really call the timeout. They didn't do anything to stop the momentum on Noob GG, and after those first 2-round wins, it was just a small a piece of time where Noob GG just put in 10 consecutive rounds on the board. They were just stacking round after round after round, and they were just finishing so fast, right? To a point where Apex, they would blink an eye, a round is done. Blink again, another round is done. You gotta slow things down, especially when things are not going your way. Help refocus. Think of another way to approach it, but there was no such thing in sight, and Noob GG were able to pretty much walk all over Apex there into the round of 128.
All right, so that was a great summary on the whole thing, and GG well played, I will say, to the teams that didn't make it, that we have streamed, and congratulations once again to Wasted Potential and Roar GG for making it out of the round of 256. Now, this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament that you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel. Our media partner is AFK Gaming. And I think that is a wrap for today. We have streamed 2 games, and it will be another 2 tomorrow. We will have 4 games on weekends, though. So you can stay tuned for that. Do subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so you can get all the notifications whenever we're live. And we'll be back tomorrow with more matches. So stay tuned, guys. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.